Welcome into WTOL 11 News here on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday afternoon. We'll get to all of our top stories and more in just a moment, but first, we're already into the first week of October, and boy, does it not feel like it at all. We're having some hot temperatures this weekend. Meteorologist John Birchfield is with us. John, how much longer is this heat going to stick around?
Yeah, Michael, a couple more days feeling more like summer before those temperatures come crashing down midweek. Sunday is going to bring us near record warmth. I'm forecasting highs surging to the mid to upper 80s, and it is going to be a sunny and dry day for those outdoor weekend plans. So just how hot was it today? We officially got up to 89 degrees, and that makes it one of the warmest October days ever in Toledo history. 92 is currently the daily record, as well as the warmest ever October temperature recorded, so within 3 degrees of that warmest October temperature. Just after 6 p.m., temperatures were still in the upper 80s in Bowling Green, 88 in Fulton County, 88 degrees in Putnam County, and the only areas that weren't quite as hot include those lakeshore locations where temperatures were largely in the 70s and 80s. High pressure off towards the East Coast is going to bring dry weather continuing into Monday. However, there are some changes coming our way. Sunday, sunny and hot conditions. Sunday's record is at 88 from October 5th, 2007, so we're going to be close to that record, although the temperatures will be crashing down this week with showers likely Tuesday, a quarter to half an inch of rainfall. I'll break down the timeline in just a bit. Michael.
All right, we'll see you then, John. The federal government shutdown is now entering its second week with no immediate end in sight, with the White House threatening to fire thousands of federal workers in what they say is an effort to save costs. CBS News is in Washington with the latest.
As the federal government prepares to enter a second week of a shutdown, the finger pointing between Republicans and Democrats continues.
We're in the midst of a government shutdown that has been caused by Donald Trump and Republicans to inflict further pain on the American people. The government is shut down right now because Donald Trump and Republicans refuse to provide health care to working class Americans.
The motion upon reconsideration is not agreed to.
On Friday, the Senate voted and once again failed to move forward with a short-term spending bill to fund the government until mid-November, extending the shutdown. Democrats want more health care funding, including an extension of affordable health care tax credits.
My caucus and Democrats are adamant that we must protect the health care of the American people.
House Speaker Mike Johnson canceled plans for the chamber to return to Washington next week, a move that effectively puts pressure on the Senate to act.
So the House will come back into session and do its work as soon as Chuck Schumer allows us to reopen the government. That's plain and simple.
Meanwhile, the White House is threatening to lay off thousands of federal employees, adding that the move will cut costs.
Nobody wants to do that, but sometimes in government you have to make tough decisions.
The ongoing government shutdown means a number of federal workers, including TSA agents at airports, will have to continue work without pay. The shutdown is also expected to continue to impact a number of museums and national parks. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
This is the first shutdown of the federal government since 2019. The last shutdown lasted 35 days. The end of the war between Israel and Hamas seems to be coming soon. This comes after both sides agreed to parts of a deal brokered by President Trump. Hamas said it agreed to release the hostages it took nearly 2 years ago on October 7th as part of an overall deal to end the war, but wants to negotiate some parts of the deal. President Trump posted on social media, quote, "Based on the statement just issued by Hamas, I believe they are ready for a lasting peace. Israel must immediately stop the bombing of Gaza so that we can quickly get the hostages out safely and quickly."
The first condition is that the war should stop, as President Trump said. If we release all of the war prisoners, the war gonna stop.
Next Tuesday marks 2 years since the brutal October 7th attacks on Israel, which killed more than 1,000 and sparked the war. Israel's offensive has killed 66,000 Palestinians, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. A 38-year-old Adrian woman is dead after a crash in Lenawee County. According to the Lenawee County Sheriff's Office, they responded to the area of Lyons Highway, where they found a car crashed into a tree and the driver ejected from her car. She was transported to a nearby hospital where she later died. At this time, it's unknown if drugs or alcohol were a factor. Friday Night Lights or Friday Night Fights. A viral video is circulating online showing a fight on the football field between Waite and Woodward players during their game's final minutes on Friday night. Well, we haven't gotten permission to show that video quite yet. A Toledo Public Schools representative has commented on the situation, saying, quote, "The behavior displayed by those involved does not reflect the values of sportsmanship, respect, and integrity that we expect from our student athletes," end quote. The district reports there were no injuries and an investigation is currently underway and appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken against any players who were involved. Planned Parenthood says more Ohioans are losing access to essential health care, not just abortions, but basic services like cancer screenings and birth control. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio with more. Dom, what's leading to this current situation?
Well, Michael, a few clinics in Ohio are facing being closed, and others across the state say they're facing major funding pressure. The closures come as new rules around Medicaid reimbursements make it harder for some clinics to stay open. Planned Parenthood officials say thousands of low-income patients depend on those locations for reproductive and preventive care. With fewer clinics, patients in parts of Ohio may now have to turn to other options such as telehealth calls and emergency room visits. The organization says it's working to expand partnerships with community health centers to fill the gap.
We will continue to provide as long as we can possibly provide. We may have to sort of regionalize and condense a little bit, but at the end of the day, our goal is to make sure that we continue to be here for patients as much as we possibly can, and that we continue to provide the great service that they expect of us.
Planned Parenthood Greater Ohio CEO says continuing to fight for funding and urging lawmakers to protect access to reproductive health care. For a list of open clinics and where patients can go for care, you can visit our website, WTOL.com. Reporting in the studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
All right, thank you, Dom. Tails were wagging at the LC4's grand opening this morning. The new $31.9 million building opened its doors to the public today. Staff say that the bigger building and new facilities aren't just good for the staff, but also for the animals, too.
That was really the best part when we moved the dogs over, was seeing them full sprint in the sunlight, smell all the grass, and you know, this has been an emotional process from start to finish, but really seeing them laying in sunbeams and running free, it got us, and there were some tears that day, but only happy tears.
9 dogs were adopted from LC4 today. New dog parents received a gift bag and had the adoption fees waived as well. Well, it was the year 1930 over in Wood County today. The Wood County Park District held its Heritage Farm Fest at Carter Historic Farm. The community enjoyed live music, a farm-to-table meal, demonstrations, and wagon rides. Carter Historic Farms is fully functioning. It's a Depression-era farm that uses historic equipment and holds educational programs.
We hope to do some community building, just get people out socializing, and also getting an experience like a 1930s Depression-era farm harvest festival or just a general festival during the time period, and you know, just expose people to the joys of the early 1900s farm life.
The festival also had a pie-eating contest where Wood County Sheriff Mark Vasilishin won with a time of 8 minutes and 59 seconds. Look at him go. The second annual BG 4x4 Fest roared into Bowling Green today, bringing off-road thrills and family fun to the Wood County Fairgrounds. Crowds enjoyed everything from a mud pit and sled pull to kids' activities, food trucks, and a convoy through downtown. Organizers say they're proud to see families and enthusiasts come together for a good cause.
We heard about it last year, my daughter and I, and we didn't get a chance to make it down, so when we saw they were having it again this year, I asked my daughter, she's 10, and she loves the Jeeps. And she said, "Daddy, let's go down." I said, "All right." So we signed up last night, and we just quick decision and came on down.
The event builds on last year's success, celebrating the off-road community while supporting local students. Well, it's our first weekend in the month of October, which means the Toledo Zoo Harvest Fest is officially underway. The Toledo Zoo is all decked out for fall, featuring things like giant pumpkins, pumpkin animal displays, and much more. And of course, there's seasonal food and drinks to try out, along with all the autumn-inspired activities.
And we get thousands of people visiting for Lights Before Christmas. They know us for that. But now October is, just blowing up. Halloween is blowing up. The fall, I think everybody's ready for fall, pumpkin spice, hot cider, all that hot chocolate. Harvest Fest goes all month long and is included with general zoo admission.
Veterans of America groups for Toledo and Bowling Green marched 24 miles today to deliver the game ball for next weekend's Battle of I-75 football game. The event, called Ruck the Ball, raises awareness about veteran suicide. Marchers started at the Glass Bowl in Toledo and ended at Bowling Green State University.
I think it shows that before the big rivalry game that we can get together and do something that's bigger than football.
ROTC members and others also joined in, with some walking as part of the route. Leaders will present the game ball to the officials prior to kickoff on game day. Well, Michigan football was at home at the Big House this afternoon, and the Wolverines took care of business against Wisconsin, winning 24-10. Quarterback Bryce Underwood threw for 270 yards and a touchdown, while running back Justice Haynes ran for 117 yards and 2 scores. The Wolverines broke away in the second half and sealed the win with big plays on both sides of the ball. Michigan plays at USC next Saturday, October 11th. And the Buckeyes are back under the lights tonight at the Shoe. Ohio State's defense has been dominant, allowing just 22 points total through 4 games this season. Quarterback Julian Sayin and the Buckeyes are favored heading into tonight's matchup against Minnesota. Kickoff is set for 7:30, and we'll have full highlights and reactions from both games coming up on WTOL 11 Sports at 11. Want to see more breakdowns of viral trends and 60-second stories? Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. But first, let's go check out our full forecast with meteorologist John Birchfield. John?
Feeling more like summer for this first weekend of October, and temperatures are going to be near record levels for your Sunday. Very similar in how it looks and feels compared to today. High temperatures are expected to be in the mid-80s, with a few spots even creeping into the upper 80s south and west of Toledo. And mostly sunny skies and dry conditions are going to help those temperatures climb close to record levels. So where are we standing as far as the record is concerned? Sunday's forecast of 87 is expected to be close to those record highs. The current standing record of 88, that is set on October 5th of 2007, so that record could be in jeopardy if we climb to the mid to upper 80s. Temperatures today actually hit 89 degrees, and that put us within just 3 degrees of the warmest ever October day. The warmest the thermometer's ever gotten in the month of October is 92 degrees. Over the course of the evening, temperatures have still been in the upper 80s down in Wood County and the mid to upper 80s west of Toledo. Now, the drought conditions unfortunately continue to get worse. In case you missed it earlier this week, we are monitoring extreme drought conditions. That bright red color shows you where the rainfall deficit is the most dire, especially right along the Maumee River Basin and just to the south of the river, stretching from portions of Wood County down into Henry and Putnam counties and all the way over towards Van Wert, Paulding, and Defiance counties. Now, due to the drought, you may have noticed some of the leaves already starting to fall off the trees. In a typical year, we see the peak of fall colors in the mid to end of October, but it may be coming a little sooner than usual, or at least seeing some of those leaves drop off as a result of the stress from the drought. High pressure to the east of us is going to be keeping sunshine around. There has been just a little more cloud cover west of the state line into Indiana, but no showers really to be seen, and unfortunately no rain for us until at least Tuesday. Near record warmth for your Sunday. It's going to be a sunny and hot one at 87, and it is going to feature a little more of a breeze Sunday with southerly winds up to about 15 miles per hour. That hour-by-hour temperature forecast does lift us up into the mid to even upper 80s. I do think we're going to fall just slightly shy of that current 2007 record of 88. So our next change in the weather comes Tuesday. I'm watching a cold front that is going to usher in a chillier autumn feel, as well as some much-needed rainfall on Tuesday. Now, we could already start to see some showers as you're sleeping Monday night. Tuesday morning, you'll want the umbrella at the bus stop. It is going to be a bit more of a damp start to the day, and as that front slides on through, a chilly fall feel is expected with a sharp